Vagina.
It has begun.
Save.
Hey, Friday. Yes. I'm glad you're all here. We're ending a week. We are ending a week, and we're looking forward to a weekend. Hopefully a weekend of rest and recuperation and good health. That's all I care about. My little baby's still not herself. Oh, just one of those things, you know. It's one of those things. But we're here on April 12th, 2024. Feeling good. I've got Matt is over here. Matt, how the hell are you doing, man?
Hello, Francis.
You feeling good?
Indeed.
Okay. You're good? You feel? You just went to go have a physical.
If that's what you want to call it.
I was really excited to hear about you taking blood, but I was very disappointed to hear that the doctor did not take your blood.
He didn't do anything that I remember a physical being. Maybe it changed from 20 years ago.
Well, you don't need to take blood every year you go to a physical, unless, of course, you have a concerning fluctuation in weight and your blood pressure is off.
He didn't do the cough thing with the nuts.
He didn't grab your nuts either.
No, he didn't do that.
See,
That really disappointed me. I was jerking off the whole time.
I know. I've been edging all week. I thought the doctor was... yeah. It's one of those situations where I just learned how to give myself but it's not just the testicular exam. It's like other things, like there's hernia, and that they test for hernia.
All that, I think, but he didn't find anything, and he checked my lungs, my breathing's fine, everything's fine.
See, I'm surprised that he didn't want, for as a new patient who hasn't had a physical in like 20 years, I'm surprised he didn't want some labs from you. But I don't know, maybe next time. Maybe you should.
I'm going with a different doctor.
Yeah.
I'm going to an Italian guy.
Yeah.
From the Bronx.
That's what his name? Or you're going to him next time?
I'm going to him next time.
He's definitely going to grab your balls. The Italian guy will grab your balls. Don't worry about it. He's going to take care of you.
He's going to do his job.
I know this guy. He's going to take care of you. No stone unturned in this one. Anyway, so tonight we have a mishmash of things. I have a couple of things on OJ Simpson, especially an alternative theory to what may have happened that night that Nicole Brown and Ron Goldman died. And I wanted to talk about that. But what's the other thing? I don't know. I don't know. Oh, that's it. We're also going to be doing a topic called Old School Social Media tonight. And it was inspired by something I learned from a friend of mine, Star, out there. Star has her own show on YouTube. I appeared on it not too long ago. She's great. And she said something really intriguing about an old school hotline, telephone hotline that was very, very quirky and weird, that people can just, in between dial tones, they can shout things into the phone. And somebody else out there, somebody can hear them. So the people would just shout random phone numbers and people would just get together.
Never heard of such a thing.
So I want to talk about old school ways that people met people and also sent out signals. In the second half, when we start reading through, what, for example, have you ever called a number that was written on a bathroom wall? Things like that. And in the second half, we even have a recent article of a family, or at least a person who was stranded on a desert island and was able to get themselves off of it, have a search and rescue operation launched by the U.S. Coast Guard by writing "help" on the beach with palm branches and stuff. So that's an old school way of social media communication. There's also messages in the bottle. So I'm just going to open that up to people in a little bit, but we have some fun to be done first, and of course that OJ topic. So it's Friday night, and I hope that you've enjoyed your week so far with me, and hopefully we can put a nice little bow on the whole thing and drive it home. Drive it home. What do I have here? Okay, here we go. First one up, ladies and gents, aside from going to quitefrankly.tv and visiting all of our wonderful friends and affiliates on the affiliates page, I would like to go to, did you see this? This was a Chinese immigrant who's running for the U.S. House of Representatives in...
Probably am not going to like it, but no.
No, you're going to like it.
Oh, yeah?
You are going to like it. She is she was born in China. She lives in New Hampshire. I think she's actually running for U.S. House in New Hampshire's 2nd District. Her name is Lily Tang Williams. She's a Chinese immigrant, and she's very, very against communism. And she showed up to some kind of a town hall to confront David Hogg about gun control. So, and of course, he's a sniveling little bitch. So, what the hell is he going to say? Take a listen to this. I think it's pretty good. Only a minute long, and it's nice for people like us to hear it.
Hi, my name is Lily Tang Williams. Welcome to my live free or die state. Actually, I am a Chinese immigrant who survived communism. And under Mao, 40 million people were starving to death after he sold communism to them. And 20 million people died, murdered during his Cultural Revolution. So my question to you, David, is that can you guarantee me, a gun owner tonight, our government in the U.S., in D.C., will never become a tyrannical government? Can you guarantee that to me?
There's no way I can ever guarantee that any government will not be tyrannical.
Well, then the debate on gun control is over because I will never give up my guns. Never. And you should go to China to see how gun control works for dictatorship of CCP.
That's right. Go fuck yourself, David. Isn't that nice?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vote for her.
Vote for her if you're in New Hampshire. Live free or die. That's where that little libertarian exodus was happening about 10 or 12 years ago. It was exciting for a little bit. So I don't know what else is going on in New Hampshire, but that's good. Lily Tang Williams is good. My mother just sent me a text message of a picture of her and OJ in Maui. She wasn't dating OJ. She just saw whenever my mother goes somewhere, she runs into a celebrity. And
Did you ever see Wayne Newton?
Yes. I'm pretty sure she did. Mom, you saw Wayne Newton, right? You watching? There's a picture of my mother in a bikini with OJ Simpson. Just hey, Juice, can I have a picture with you? I don't know how old she is there. She's probably she's younger than me, obviously. Much younger than I am now. Mom, you ever have a Wayne Newton encounter? My mother's
Tom Jones.
My mother's the type who is taking pictures of everybody as they're walking out of the stage doors. She has no sense of boundaries whatsoever. She has the same sense of boundaries as a 15-year-old does. Like whenever I text her that I see somebody at a restaurant, like when I was at Frankie and Johnny's over Christmas, I saw Joe Torre sitting there. I just wanted to text her, hey, Joe Torre's sitting right. Go talk to him. He's eating dinner. So what? He's eating dinner.
Go
talk to him. Ask him for a picture. No, not doing it. Anyway, Matt, you're gonna like this. This one. This comes out of what? Simpson County. Where is this? Kentucky. Oh no. Just over the border of Tennessee, located in Franklin. Oh no. It is Franklin, Kentucky. Anyway, listen to this, Matt. You're gonna like it. Simpson County has a rich history of dueling at Sanford Duncan Inn landmark. Just over the border of Tennessee, located in Franklin, is a Sanford Duncan Inn, which is thought to have been standing since 1818. Back then, the inn would draw business from travelers passing through the area, as well as men from Kentucky and Tennessee who were settling their differences by dueling.
It's nice.
Once you
It's gentlemanly.
it's nice how we used to do things. It actually is. Dueling. I would like dueling to be legal.
Yeah, it should be.
It should be.
So should public executions.
Once you have stepped across the Tennessee state line, Tennessee sheriff did not care what you did in Kentucky, said innkeeper Nikki Hughes. The Kentucky sheriff didn't have the jurisdiction to chase you into Tennessee, so they could get away with it. The inn was operated by Sanford Duncan, a large farmland owner and leader in forming Simpson County, who would service stagecoaches going up and down what is now known as 31 West. About a mile down the road from the property was the dueling grounds called Lincoln Pinch. Gentlemen, mainly from Tennessee, mainly from Nashville, would come up here to settle their differences and sometimes actually stayed together here in the inn. They ate meals, probably had a few drinks, and then they would get up early in the morning, go down to the dueling ground, and blow each other away. It was very convenient. It was just a few paces from the Tennessee state line.
Sounds gentlemanly to me.
Oh, I wish this was still real. According to Hughes, about 40 duels occurred on the ground until two attorneys from Nashville dueled, with one shooting and killing the other. As a result, Tennessee and Kentucky began to outlaw dueling. The big shot, well, how many people died there? It can't just be that one. Just can't be the one, the lawyer. The big shots in Nashville decided that they couldn't have lawyers shooting each other, he said. Tennessee started enforcing the anti-dueling laws. It was technically illegal in both states, and so did Kentucky as it faded away. Technically illegal. Oh, yeah. In 1840, Kentucky rewrote its constitution and put an oath of office in there, and most of that oath, you have to swear that you never, in all that oath, you have to swear you'll never be in a duel. Or never participated in a duel, never fought in a duel, acted as a second. Oh, you know, I remember reading about this. That the oath of office in Kentucky has a lot in there about dueling, and now we know the backstory behind it. We definitely read that onto the show at one point. Oh, my mother just texted me, said, nothing with Wayne. Never saw Wayne Newton. Oh, I thought so. Anyway. All right, so, Matt, you're going to like this one here. Now, it's crazy because we had a couple of different things that came out of New York City this week with Eric Adams that I swear was right out of The Office. The first one was a headline that I read where it said Mayor Eric Adams was like calling out officials or something in Texas, because somewhere in Texas they were getting the word out to any NYPD officers who still cared about the rule of law. You can come down here to Texas and we'd love to hire you. And first thing I thought about, and then Eric Adams starts calling them out. First thing I thought about was Jim, Dwight, and Michael going to Utica to confront Karen and raise out because they're trying to poach Stanley from you know, whatchamacallit, down in Scranton. But this one took the cake. This one is episode 4. No, season 4, episode 1. Headline from New York City. NYC to look at birth control for rats to combat the rodent population.
That's not going to work.
Birth control for rats. Dude, just feed them the poison. Love is in the air for squeakhearts, and city lawmakers want to stop them from becoming new parents. Councilmember Sean Abreu has proposed a rat birth control program jointly run by the Department of Health and Mental Hygiene and Department of Sanitation, the latest attempt to quell the plague. Abreu, who helms the Committee on Sanitation and Solid Waste, said contrapest pellets would work together with the city's broader push to fight rats. This reminds me, season 4, episode 1, when they think that Meredith has rabies, and Michael organizes that marathon to raise money for rabies, and most of the money comes from Michael and Dwight. And we learn that Michael got Dwight to donate money by promising him that the proceeds would go to bat birth control. So I thought that I thought this was going to go toward bat birth control. I can't believe it's real. What the hell is that?
The phone.
Oh, that was you? I can't believe it's real. I swear to God, some of the writers of The Office are actually consulting Eric Adams politically.
It sounds like it. You see the other clip of him where he says New York is the this and this of whatever country. He's like, New York is the Paris of...
No, please.
And he says it with every different country.
Please. Please just stop. Anyway, we're going to kick this one off. Thank you guys and gals for joining us on a nice Friday night. I hope you enjoy yourself. I know I certainly will. I will see you on the other side of the intro. Here we go.
You let one ant stand up to us, then they all might stand up.
Those puny little ants outnumber us 100 to 1. And if they ever figure that out, there goes our way of life.
It's not about food. It's about keeping those ants in line. That's why we're going back.
Does anybody else want to stay?
Let's ride!
Welcome, everybody. Good to have you here. A nice springtime Friday night is a change from what we had from the rest of the day. It was a rainy, weird kind of a day, but it's kind of cleared up a little bit. Tomorrow it's going to be windy, and then next week I think that we're going to be hanging around in the 60s and 70s, so that should be nice. That's how we have it. All right, so ladies and gents, please share the show. And if you want to contribute some thoughts and have him read on the air tonight, a shout out. If you want to declare whatever the hell, if you want to declare bankruptcy, you could declare it on Quite Frankly. Just send it in, Quite Frankly, superchat.com. Send in a super chat and a super cat as well, and I will read it on air later on. So thank you so much. Hey, Matt, so how was work today?
It's okay.
Yeah?
Installed a couple street signs.
Yeah? Well, you better enjoy it because you're probably not going to have that job for long. I took the Ring camera footage from the other day that you did, and I'm sending it to the mayor. I said to the mayor, I said, one of your workers, you want to see it?
All right, but I'm good friends with
I don't
the mayor's boys.
Yeah, well, ladies and gentlemen, this is the I got something. I
wasn't sure if it recorded or not.
Yeah, I had a notification come to the house, and Aurora was laying on the couch, just sitting there, and all of a sudden I get a Ring cam. Something was going on there, and all of a sudden I see this going on, and so yeah, obviously we wanted to know what the hell he was doing. So this is what awaited us. Hold on.
I'm gay. I'm gay. Very gay. I'm gay.
What the hell's going on here?
I'm gay. I'm gay.
So I told
Chisel nose.
I told the mayor. I said, one of your workers has been sexually harassing me at my home.
That looks like the proboscis monkey right there from that ankle. You know the monkey I'm talking about?
Yeah. So yeah, there you go. That's the work that we get around town. That's good. All right. So moving on. There was another thing. You know how they have that technology. I found that video of them that they unearthed the technology that tells you what people from historical figures might have sounded like. I found that video again. I haven't played this on the air since I found it because I wanted you to be here. This is the one that the Ben Franklin one. We had listened to this one together. This one is incredible. It almost as incredible as them simulating what the mummies sounded like. This is crazy. Take a listen to this.
New technology shows what different historical figures might have sounded like.
Holy fuck. I'm coming.
I can't. Dude, I watched that one over and over.
Fuck.
I watched that one over and over again. It's stupid. You know, I don't. If that's the kind of thing that I go to for a boost, like I would never need Prozac or any kind of SSRI. Some of these TikToks and some of these old reels and shit like that, that's what I need. Those are the only things I need sometimes. Now, here's something else I thought you'd like. Here, somebody published this. I find this guy, Eric Alper, on Twitter, posts a lot of interesting stuff. He's a Sirius XM host. But there was a causes of death sheet in London. Somebody had compiled all the causes of death in London, the city of London, in the year 1632. You got to hear some of these. Okay, so let's go there right now. Causes of death in London, 1632. Borrive. What is Borrive? What is that? Wait.
Kind of bovine-born illness they got from eating uncooked food.
Abortive? 6 people died from it. Aged.
AIDS?
Aged. A-G-E-D. 54 people die from aged?
From old age.
Maybe.
People long back then, you stub your toe, you're dead in 2 days.
1 person died of being apoplectic.
Yeah,
One person died of being bedridden. 2 people died of cancer. 23 people died childbed. Now, I wonder if that is childbirth or if this is the children dying in their bed. I don't know. It could be
adults.
childbirth.
Yeah, they're adults. They're sleeping in children's bed.
1 person died of colic. 174 people died of consumption. That's alcohol, right?
Yeah, which never made sense to me.
Well, I mean, you can kill yourself with alcohol.
Yeah, consumption. You can consume anything, though, right? That's what you think of when you hear consume.
Right. Yes. I know, but the understanding is they're consuming alcohol. Convolution. What does convolution mean?
That's when you have convolutions of grandeur or some shit like that.
Hold on. I have to look some of these up. This next one is called drop fee. Drop fee. That's 40 people. Hold on.
First thing I think of with that one is them getting drop kicked to death.
Drop fee. Death. Let's see here. Drop file. What is the cause of death of dropsy? Oh, maybe it's dropsy?
Droopsy. Their face went droopy because
Some
they
of those
became liberal.
Killed condition called dropsy. Was actually killed for the condition that was called the swelling rather than the swelling itself. Some conditions can be caused dropsy.
Why would you call dropsy if it's swelling?
Dropsy refers to swelling under the skin and is generally known as edema under the skin. The skin fills with fluid. It's normal for fluid to be secreted into the interstitium. I don't know how to say that. However, when disease causes the body to overproduce fluid or impairs the body's ability to drain this fluid away, it accumulates and becomes edema. So maybe that's what it is. Yeah, I think it's dropsy, but it's spelled with. Oh, that's right. That big curving thing is an S. It's not an F. Drowned. 2 people drowned. 353 people died of fever.
Oh, yeah, he died of a fever back then.
3,880 people. This is definitely the biggest thing here. 3,880 people died of plague. Now, is that bubonic?
Yeah,
or is
plague.
that?
No, that's the plague.
Let's see here. And of the plague, it was pretty evenly split there too. 2,600 males, 2,600 females, only a couple of, but that's just crazy.
It's balance.
113 people in London in 1632 died of teeth.
You better watch out for those teeth.
I guess it's teeth infection. Ulcers, 2. Vomiting, 3. 7.
Threw up to death?
Yeah, I guess so. Maybe it was dehydration or something like that. What is windy? WINDE. Hold on.
They can't stop fucking breaking wind.
Windy.
And they fucking fart so much that after all the gas is done, they
two.
start farting out the oxygen in their body. It gives them wet shits, like real wet and slimy shits when they have that.
Clinical manifestations of wind. It's called wind. Wind sickness.
Yeah, it's from,
including fever, aversion to cold, headache, sore throat, sweating, feelings of hypothermia, cough, rhinal obstruction, rhinorrhea, nasal perturus, a tongue with a thin white coating, and floating or moderate pulse. That sucks.
All right, I was wrong.
You were one. There's nothing in there about the types of shits.
Just what it sound when I hear it, it's what it sounds like the disease would be to me.
Worms. What about worms?
They got worms in their asshole like dogs do.
Okay.
It just eats their inside, their bowels. It eats everything away.
Well, here's one thing for you.
And their asshole falls out.
The asshole falls out. We have one death that is described as killed by a fall down the stairs at St. Thomas the Apostle.
That one explains itself.
So just, fell right down there. Frighted.
Scared him to death.
Scared somebody to death. Gangrene, 1 death. Grief, 1 death. Griping in the guts. 74 people died of griping in the guts in 1632 in London.
Yeah.
I'm sure happy that some of this stuff doesn't happen to us. Though we got our own problems, right? We got our own problems. The one thing that's not on that list is OJ Simpson. Nobody died of OJ Simpson in 1632.
No one died of him ever, apparently. He was found innocent. Dude. He was the best guy around.
He was... now, Ron Goldman's dad did you see his reaction?
No.
When he heard about this, heard about OJ dying, he said, "No great loss there. For 3 decades, we tirelessly pursued justice for Ron and Nicole, and despite a civil judgment and his confession in If I Did It." Did he really confess in If I Did It?
He wrote the book, If He Did It, and he's pretty much,
Because I never read it, but it was very odd. And he seems like a guy that wanted to get it out without getting it out.
Well, it's funny, because I remember, even before he did write the book, I remember it was just a thing. People say, oh, now he could write a book saying that he did it and he can't even get in trouble now. And then years later, he wrote that book.
Yeah, well, the double jeopardy. And apparently he died owing over $100 million in civil law. He
never paid any of that money?
Well, I don't know how you get it. Wasn't he a part of a heist? Didn't he take place in tried to steal back some of his memorabilia?
I think he did steal it back, but I think he went to jail for that too.
Yeah, hold on. OJ memorabilia heist. Let me see.
We should have gave him a pass for it. He was a good running back. Just let the guy go.
Let's see here. OJ Simpson, biggest scandals, murder trial, trophy heist, and ill-advised If I Did It book.
I mean, dude, you cannot say that he's not, funny. Because did you ever see... I don't know who he did the interview with, whoever the fuck it was, but the camera's following him, and they knock on his hotel room, wherever it is, and he opens the door, and he has a toy knife in his hand, and he's like, ee! You never seen that?
No.
Oh, it's fucking hilarious.
It's like, what is he, just embracing it at this point? This is, this is thick as shit. Well, hold on. If I Did It, Confessions of a Killer. 12 years after the contentious murder trial that shocked the nation, Simpson and ghostwriter Pablo Fenves wrote a book entitled OJ Simpson, If I Did It, Here's How It Happened. The controversial novel put forth a hypothetical narrative detailing how Brown, Simpson, and Goldman were slain and what happened the night of their murders. In the narrative, OJ describes a chapter in the night in question being at Brown Simpson's house with a friend called Charlie and confronting her in Goldman. He then says that he blacks out for a few moments, and when he comes to, the pair are in giant pools of blood. He actually said this?
Yeah. Hold on. I'm sending you the thing of...
Plans for the book and TV special were ultimately scrapped following intense backlash over how Simpson would benefit from the murders. The Florida Bankruptcy Court, however, awarded the rights to the book to the Goldman family, who made alterations to it and published it under the title, If I Did It, Confessions of the Killer. Oh. Yeah. What's this, OJ?
Yeah, it's a 38-second clip, and that's that little thing I told you about's in it. It's pretty funny, though.
Oh, hold on. I just opened it up over here. Let me see if I can get it on my YouTube. I did not know. I remember he did the If I Did It thing, but I never looked into it deeply enough to see what kind of incriminating shit is in there. I just thought that this guy was begging for it. Hold on a second. Here's the clip that Matt just sent me. Let's see.
I've never personally shaken hands with a murderer. It's good to see you.
Thank you. Very nice to meet you. Huh?
Doesn't that hurt your feelings?
No. And you got me riled up. You got me started.
After we finished filming, OJ said to me that he had a surprise for me, and I genuinely was surprised.
Just did you do it?
No, I didn't.
I think it was his idea of a joke.
Nope.
And this is it.
I got a big surprise for you.
Oh. Oh, boy.
That's how you know he didn't do it.
Oh, boy. Oh, my gosh.
Did you hear the noise he did?
He did the psycho noise.
Look at the name of the video.
OJ Simpson pulls an absolutely banging prank. What the fuck? Oh, maybe I saw this maybe I saw this and I repressed it or something. This is just, hold on. I'm sorry, I have to see it again. So, this reporter is following him around, and she's following him as she's following him around doing this piece. People are coming up to him and saying, "I never shook hands with a murderer before."
Yeah, people like them.
Oh no, those people didn't. The two women in the beginning, they certainly didn't like him.
No, they did.
They were trolling him big time. No.
Thing back then, they liked OJ.
No, this woman didn't. Listen to what she says.
From Buffalo.
Listen.
I've never personally shaken hands with a murderer. It's good to see you.
Thank you. Very nice to meet you. Huh?
I personally never shaken hands with a murderer. She did not say that out of love.
He's just like, oh, thank you. Nice to meet you too.
What's he gonna do? Punch her? But still, this is this is crazy right here.
We finished filming. OJ said to me that he had a surprise for me, and I genuinely was surprised.
Just did you do it?
No, I didn't.
I think it was his idea of a joke.
Nope.
And this is it.
I seriously. The fact that he said I have a surprise for you.
Classic OJ.
Stop. Classic OJ. No, see, something's wrong with him. I think he's already lost his mind. He's already lost his mind. You don't do that. He's obviously already lost his mind.
How scared she was.
Oh yeah, because it's like he did this to somebody.
Well,
I mean,
allegedly. Allegedly.
And then the Vegas memorabilia. I can't do this anymore. Oh my god. Let's see. The Vegas memorabilia robbery in 2017. Wow. Even that is almost 20 years ago now. Everything is 20 years ago. Simpson was arrested September 2007 in connection with an armed robbery in Las Vegas hotel aimed at stealing back his own memorabilia. Simpson admitted to police that he was one of the men behind the robbery. Sports memorabilia collector and former pal of Simpson, who was allegedly looking to sell half of his Hall of Fame certificate, and picture of him with J. Edgar Hoover, among other items.
I didn't know OJ was alive back in the 1920s or whenever J. Edgar.
Yeah. No, he was. OJ helped him found the FBI, actually.
Well, that's why he got off with the moida.
Yeah, anyway, so Ron Goldman's father said no great loss. Now, here's the other thing here. No Agenda podcast was talking about this recently, and then, of course, somebody sent me along an article, a blog that really puts together this alternative theory about what some people think may have been going on with OJ in this murder. And I'm just going to read you through what's going. The thing here is, the theory is whether or not OJ Simpson was trying to protect his son.
I heard this.
His mentally ill son, who actually did it, and OJ was trying to keep a front. Trying to keep a steady front to protect his son from any kind of legal ramifications of the murder, which actually doesn't make this much better, to be honest. Okay, so keep that in mind. Protect the actual
He's a good father. You don't rat your kids out.
Listen, here you go. Ready? This is from yourtango.com. Does the glove fit? And it gets into Jason. His name is Jason Simpson. And they want to know, this is the conspiracy, did he kill Nicole Brown? Who is he? He's O.J. Simpson's son, born in 1970. He's got a criminal past, diagnosed with rage disorder. He's got mental illness. His private diary reveals violent thoughts. All that stuff is in here as far as, whatever. But I didn't want to read too much of this. I wanted to get to just the physical evidence that they say links Jason to the murder scene. Says a black knit navy watch cap was found at the scene that did not match any of the fibers found on OJ. The hat was also coated in dog hairs. OJ did not own a dog, but Jason did. Photographs found in Jason's storage locker show that Jason wore caps frequently. Let's see here. One image dated 3/24/93 shows Jason sitting with his dog while wearing an identical cap to the one found at the murder site. The LAPD found 15 unknown fingerprints at Nicole's Brentwood home, where the murder took place, none of which matched OJ's prints. The police also failed to compare them to Jason's prints. There was also blood and skin found under Nicole's fingernails that did not match OJ's DNA. Ron Goldman, a third-degree black belt, was found with bruised hands, suggesting that he fought back against the attacker. OJ stripped for LAPD a day after the murders and showed no signs of bruising. Jason's DNA was never requested by police, nor was he interviewed by the LAPD. They found a knife in Jason's storage locker. The Swiss and stiletto knives owned by OJ were ruled out as murder weapons, but a forensic scientist hired by Deere to examine Jason's knife concluded that the butt of the knife matches the injury Nicole suffered at the top of her head. Jason had previously attended the Army and Navy Academy, and a former classmate told Deere that he had been trained in hand-to-hand combat as well as field knife training. OJ, on the other hand, was known to hate the sight of blood. Jason has no alibi. OJ hired a defense team for Jason. Now, listen. The one thing I would say about this, if I had, Mark Furman, I wonder what Mark Furman would say about all of this stuff, because I don't know the case well enough to refute any of this. I'm just reading it for the sake of maybe, have some conversation, and I know what other people are talking about, and it's really interesting. But we were listening last night on QuiteFrankly.tv. We were listening to a marathon of coast-to-coast episodes from the 90s that were all talking about this from the day of the Bronco on up. And one of the last episodes that was airing on QuiteFrankly.tv was an interview that Art Bell did with Mark Furman. That's the cop that they skewered and painted as a racist and all that stuff. Well, listen, listening to him, he sounds like he really sounds like a solid guy. Really does. And I can't recall all of the details from last night without having written them down first. But according to Mark Furman, OJ was dead to rights on this case from almost every angle imaginable. This is interesting right here, but I don't know. I can't verify it. I can't verify it. I just grabbed it for tonight's discussion and all that stuff. But last night's episode, if you can't find it in the rerun, it's in there. You should definitely go look for that. When Mark Furman, it might have been 2005 14, 15, I don't know when the hell it was, 2010, Mark Furman, Art Bell, it was really something else. Really something else.
I'm going to listen to that.
I'll send it to you because...
Yeah, but I've heard that before, and they're saying that's what the that whole Bronco chase was, is for him giving his son time or some shit like that to leave or fucking some shit like that.
Well, I mean, again, I don't know why. It doesn't make the situation even remotely better. Well, I mean, I guess it makes it better that if it is true that OJ did not kill them, I guess... that's two murders not on his hands. I guess it makes it better for. But on the other hand, if it's true that he went through all of this stuff instead of passing up a dangerous son, if he's mentally ill, if he's gotten problems, he'd probably just be institutionalized out there in California. He's not going to get the death penalty, but he should definitely be removed from civil society. I would do that for a child of mine. If they actually were murderous, there's nothing I would do to keep them on the streets. I would try my best to find a way to keep them alive and in some kind of an institution. It would be a little bit harder to offer them up if they're going to get killed. But this situation, I mean, hell no, man, no. But take a look at this. Here is End Wokeness on Twitter shared this out. It was really interesting to watch. Oprah's audience were reacting to OJ Simpson's verdict live in 1995. And you can see how polarized the audience was. Take a look at this. This is crazy. Hold on.
Case number BA097211. We, the jury, in the above entitled action, find the defendant Orenthal James Simpson not guilty of the crime of murder in violation of Penal Code Section 187A, a felony upon Nicole Brown Simpson, a human being, as charged in count 1 of the information. Superior Court of the State of California, County of Los Angeles, in the matter of the people of the State of California versus Orenthal James Simpson. We, the jury, in the case number BA.
And what you observe there, it's not, obviously there is, especially if you listen to that Mark Furman episode from last night, race was injected into this. And of course, that is something that we know very well for every topic, every headline, anything is run through the lens of some kind of an identity issue, race chief among all of them. Especially when it comes to trying to absolve somebody of some kind of responsibility, or to throw the blame onto something else or some kind of a societal condition or whatever the fuck it is. Now you can see that some people, this is not a lot of the people that were celebrating were black. Some were white. A lot of people upset were black and white as well. So, but there was just I don't know. There's something about this that was so odd. It felt like the more I remember all this stuff and I look at it and I absorb it as an adult now, because I was only 10, you were only 11 when we got this verdict. Mm-hmm. I was telling Tracy this morning, that verdict, all I knew about OJ Simpson, all I cared about was that, oh, he's a fun guy. That's the guy from the Naked Gun films.
Yeah.
Nordberg. That he can't kill anybody. He's funny. And it's just like I wanted him to be not guilty. So
I think I remember back then he definitely did it.
Dude, it's just crazy to watch all this stuff. And damn, you got to listen to that Mark Furman thing, because he goes in on Johnny Cochran again too. What he brought up. I mean, that is one thing that I, even though I was an OJ Simpson fan from a movie goer's perspective at 10 years old in the 90s, as I was talking last night to our guest, Mike King, do you remember the time that the whole "if the glove don't fit, you must acquit" thing popped up? I do. When, as an 11-year-old or 10-year-old boy, at that time while the trial was still going on, what did you think about OJ holding up a hand with a latex glove on and the other glove on top of it?
I mean, I just, even back then, I'm like, his hand is like not like that. It's like that. He opened it like weird, bro. He opened it so the glove like would be a little more tight.
He opened it because he wedged it open weirdly,
Yeah.
and also he's wearing a latex glove. You're gonna put
that's right.
You're wearing a glove because there's a piece of evidence. So you're wearing a glove under a glove, and you expect that to just fit smoothly as it is.
I forgot about that too.
So that I never understood.
Yeah.
You know, that there's my cognitive dissonance kicking in. Just like, well, something's not right here. At least there. So I don't know. There's a lot. There is a lot. All right. So you can call in on that, whatever the hell you want to say. 914-200-0269. 914-200-0269. Let's hear from you. Oh, no, I turned the wrong thing off. Hold on a second. 914-200-0269. Call in. Any of your remembrances, anything, whatever you got. And then we have this I want to set up for the second half. So you can call in with that, and we're setting this up. Now, I was talking to my friend Star, like I said, and we were talking about, I guess old school social media. I guess that's how I'll say it. And she told me about this thing called the hotline where she grew up. Okay? And then she sent me a little screenshot of something from another part of the country that was almost exactly like what she had described. So all of you out there, I want you to listen to this because we're going to do a lot of this in the second half with your mixed calls on everything. Here you go. The pipeline on the telephone, the 1970s social media. Does anyone remember or even know what pipeline was? Real briefly, I'll try to explain. Back in the early 70s, you could use your home phone number to meet people by simply yelling your phone number in between recorded phone company messages. This was sort of a social media thing. In the 1970s, the entire Southeast Michigan area code was 313. So all one had to do was dial 1313, and a looped recording would play and then pause for about 10 seconds. And everyone that was on the phone at that time would yell out their telephone number. You or anybody that heard a phone number of a person that they wanted to meet would simply just call them. When I was a teenager, that was the coolest thing to meet girls and set up dates. If you Google Detroit Pipeline telephone, you can find more info about this. It indeed was social media of the 1970s.
That's pretty cool.
It's pretty cool. I mean, these days it'd be creepy, but there was we were a different culture back then. It's just probably it wasn't the stranger danger years yet, but. Did anybody use the pipeline in the 1970s? Now, I don't want to date this too much, so I want to put it out there. What other old school methods of social media were you big on younger, before the age of Web 2.0, where we are right now with all the apps, before MySpace and Facebook and all that stuff? Let us know a little bit about that. Did you ever use these hotlines? Did you ever call any of the numbers that you saw written on bathroom walls? Did you have any adventures with beepers? Did you have fun with CB radios? Did you ever send or receive a message in a bottle? Write this down. Please write it all down. Let's take a call. Here we go. First one up. Jules, how are you?
Hey, Frank. I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing well. Welcome to the show.
Well, thank you. I wanted to expand on something that your mother said, because when she talked about how we would pick up the phone and yell down the phone line, like telephone numbers or whatnot, we did that as little 12, 13, 14-year-olds. Like a group of girls would call a boy's house, and if he picked up, we would yell into the phone, call 855-3205, and then we'd slam down the phone. And if the boy was interested, he'd call the number back, and a different girl would pick it up and go, oh no, that wasn't me. I didn't. Oh, well, what are you doing, Bobby? Blah, blah, blah. And the reason why I remember this is because I broke a girl's finger because we were on her kitchen phone, which is it's usually up on the wall like that, and it's got the silver thing that you slam the headset into.
Yep.
And I looked over there at her, and I nodded, because I'd already said, call 855-3205. And I kept nodding for her to hang up the phone so he doesn't hear all of us. There were 6 or 7 girls, howling with laughter and giggling and whatnot. and I slammed it down, and her finger was still on the thing.
Oh, on the cradle?
Yes.
Oh, man.
And we couldn't, like, no parents were at home. Of course, she burst into tears. We're, just basically out of 10, 11 years old. And I don't remember what happened, but when you said that about your mother, I was like, I remember playing a game like that. And I don't know what happened to the girl, but I was just so mad that she wouldn't hang it up. I just slammed it down, and her finger was still there.
That's first of all, it wasn't my mom that told me about this. It was my friend, my friend Star. I don't know if my mother knew about any hotlines like this over here in the Northeast, but still. So what you're saying is you already knew the number of the boy that you were calling.
Correct.
Okay. Did you use was it random numbers in the phone book, or was it just like guys from school?
No, just boys from the neighborhood,
Gotcha.
Boys that we could, that we knew there, because like everybody knew everybody's telephone number back in the 70s.
Right.
And I don't know why we thought this was not, it was just asinine that one girl would call.
Hey, you know what, Jules? It's not that we were still enjoying that in the 90s, and thank you for the call. It's really great to hear from you again. Matt.
Okay, have a good day.
Take care. There's Jules from Maryland. She's a wonderful, wonderful woman. Love her. Matt is a prolific prank phone caller. At least used to be. But when we were growing up in the 90s, it was awesome to even receive a prank phone call. Unless it was something like, somebody crossed the line. They're really, when somebody's trying to, really make your night bad with they're getting personal or something like that. Yeah. But, it was a lot of fun, especially with Jules talking about that. It got me thinking about times when some of the girls from my class would prank phone call me, and you hear giggling girls, and you're just like, all right, now you got to figure out, which one of them got together. You have to start piecing together who it was, because if your crush was there, maybe they called you because it's your crush. Maybe it's a targeting thing. Maybe it's something good, positive for you. That was fun. That shit doesn't happen anymore.
No, they got cell phones now.
You can't. It doesn't happen anymore.
It doesn't work like that anymore.
We still prank a couple of your friends.
Yeah, we do. I do pranks work. We call one of the guy's uncles there. We call him because his wife controls him, and she picks the phone up, and I always pretend like she's him because she's like manly or whatever.
Okay. We should do some prank phone calls on the show tonight, or some night.
We should.
We should pick a few people to call. And we should do that.
We should.
We should bring back the good old days. So 914-200-0269. You got anything for me on any of your OJ remembrances? And then you have, and then whatchamacallit, you also have the 1970s social media. I have some entries here from people who have dialed the numbers written on the walls in the bathrooms. So we got that. We also have this incredible recent desert island rescue story, which classifies as a almost like a message in a bottle kind of a thing. Hello, caller. You're on the air.
Hi, this is Chris from Dallas.
Hey, what's going on, Chris?
Hello,
how you doing?
I was just calling to... I'm phenomenal. How are you?
Oh, doing well. You're on with Matt, too.
Yes. Hello, Matt.
Hey, what's
Love
up?
Fridays. I was just calling to talk about the OJ Simpson case because I was in college in Boulder, Colorado, and this is it was ubiquitous. It was everywhere. You would go to the gas station. You had to walk in to pay for your gas at that time. Everybody had a TV. It was always on. You get what's going on up. Kato Kalin, he's testifying, and then you would go to a restaurant to pick up your food. They had a TV. You'd be like, what's that? Oh, the DNA guy, Barry's talking. It was everywhere. But the gloves, and they said this before, they told OJ not to take his arthritis medicine because when he didn't take it, his hands would swell up. So we knew that. And then you're like, they're not going to have him, put on the gloves. And he didn't take his arthritis medicine. You know how he... Yeah,
I didn't know about the arthritis. I didn't know about the arthritis medicine. See, then you were in college, and the one thing I did know, absolutely ubiquitous. It was everywhere. I felt like for a couple of maybe 3 or 4 years in the middle of the 90s, we got every year you had one or two big things to look forward to. You either had a big murder trial, you either had an Olympics to look forward to, some other, there was just something happening, and we all got to concentrate on it. A Bill Clinton scandal, whatever the hell it was, there was always something crazy going on that kept everybody completely absorbed. Everybody was absorbed. There was that was it. That was the one story everybody talked about.
It was like the weather. You want to talk to somebody, everybody had an opinion on the OJ Simpson case. They would say something and they'd bring up a point, because we knew all the facts that the jury didn't know. So you'd be like, oh yeah, that's a good point. So it was just a discussion. It was kind of weird. It was the whole thing. And then, it was a year long, and it built up to such a crescendo that it was really, it's something that I don't think, we'll ever experience again. Or I don't know how we would, but yeah, there's all these little facts that get forgotten in the mayhem. So
then, Chris, real quick before we get off, what was your opinion of it? You don't have to go into detail if you don't remember it, but were you on the fence, or were you hard with guilty or hard not guilty?
Yeah, I thought he was guilty, but then again, back then there was the whole his son Jason did it, and I was kind of like, maybe I could see that, and I was kind of on his son might have done it too, so I kind of kept that door open. But a lot of it, you're like, It was it was also the first case where they never had DNA anywhere. So they had, I forgot the guy's name, Barry Scheck, but it was the first time where they ever introduced DNA, and so people were kind of like, is this? It was an uncertain thing that they kind of brought in, like 99%, and you're like, really? Okay. And then after that, the DNA evidence kind of became, one of the main go-tos. But at first, they're like, are they really, going to try to do this? Because nobody had ever done that before. That was a defense that, was unknown at the time. So.
And what do you think? What do you think about? I know a lot of our friends out there who cover court proceedings and trials and all that stuff. That's become a very, very popular genre of broadcast right now, and it has become a very educational experience there too. But what do you think about trials like this being publicly broadcast? Did you think that the circus element of it changed the way that people went about their business at all?
Well, that was the whole reason for the verdict. It was broadcast. Everybody kind of knew what the real facts were. I think, some people didn't want to believe it. A lot of people were like, we knew he's guilty. We saw what the jury didn't see. So I think they should, broadcast it. Let people decide.
Yeah. Well, thank you for the call, Chris. It's great to have you on tonight.
All right, Matt, keep rocking in the free world, man. All right, rock and roll.
There you go, Chris from Texas. Yeah, that's another thing that Mark Furman was talking about on that episode that we aired last night. He was even talking about how Judge Ito should have recused himself, and how he just there was so many odd potential things driving everybody that was taking part in the trial, like Marcia Clark's motivations for doing or not doing certain things. Judge Ito's wife was involved with the LAPD and had it out for Mark Furman in particular. So there's a lot of like vendetta kind of stuff there, and then he had quite a bit to say not only about Marcia Clark and the prosecution, but also OJ's defense team and how they were just carnival barkers. And he had a lot to say about Johnny Cochran and of course the whole race circus atmosphere they brought in about race. So that was pretty crazy. Let's take a call. 254, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hey, Frank.
Hey, who's this?
It's Teresa from Texas.
Hey, Teresa, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How about you?
Not bad. We're over here enjoying a Friday night. It's almost halfway done. Isn't it crazy how fast it goes?
Sure is.
So what's on your mind?
Time flies. Well, I wanted to talk about OJ. I was in my late 30s when that happened, and that was the first time I ever remember people being at such odds. It was you were either one side or the other, and feeling rage even at people who didn't agree with you, you know, because to me it was so obvious that he had done it. And the people who took up for him, you know, it was almost more than I could stand.
I mean, you can tell it. You can tell the divide and the disdain between just that small sample of people in that Oprah live audience, that clip that I just played. You can tell it's not just this disappointment in disappointment or celebration in what they saw just get broadcast from the courtroom, but one side of the room was either taunting or glaring at the other side.
Right.
It's nuts.
It's very similar to what happens now.
Oh yeah.
And if we knew then that it was going to become commonplace for people to act that way, it would have been hard to deal with, because that was a hard year or two.
95, 96, or 94, around there?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Well, I think if people had the foresight, and thank you for the call, Teresa. It's great to hear from you.
You too. Have a good night.
Have a good night. Have a great weekend. If people had the foresight to know that ending right there and how everybody in the room was taking it in was going to be a preview of the kind of outrage, craziness that we were going to have to live with for things so minuscule and in many ways imaginary. What we deal with today, that kind of hatred and taunting at the same time that we saw in that clip from the Oprah show in 1995, that little screenshot that we have right there, we get from completely imaginary issues. Like, people have been turned into nut jobs. Like, we're not even talking about murders at this point. It's just like it's just pure. Like, for example, this is a murder trial that had identity injected into it at some point. Now we have people going crazy just because of the identity sliver, and that's all it is. And identity has been shattered into many different fragments, and it doesn't even have to be applied to a major happening. It's just everybody is out there making a big deal of themselves, and they believe the hype, and they've been taught to do that. It's nuts, really is. All right, listen, we got a lot of calls coming in. And keep them coming. 914-200-0269. We're going to take you to the other side of the intermission. We're going to go to quitefrankly.tv and pilled.net. Those links are in the description below. I've also tweeted them out, put it on Truth and Gab and Telegram. Anybody in the chat room could help you out. Ladies and gentlemen, go ahead and do it. Pilled.net, or where is it? Where's quitefrankly.tv? There you go. Right on the screen right there. Take a picture of that. And when we come back, more of your calls, more, and of course, recent examples of old school social media. This writing of help with palm branches on the beach in a desert island getting rescued. It's going to be great. Really is. And then it's the weekend. So I hope to see you. And thank you so much for another wonderful week. Let's go and do it. Take care.
The rest of the show is available exclusively at pilled.net. Follow the link in the description of the episode. Get signed up. It's that easy. Or head on over to quitefrankly.tv. Just press play. No paywalls, no censorship, no strings attached. So head on over, quitefrankly.tv, powered by Foxhole, and pilled.net.
It's intermission time, folks. Time out to press the like button. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Welcome to intermission.
We'll be right back.
Yeah, intermission.
You're now entering, quite frankly.
Quite frankly.
Quite frankly.
Quite frankly.
Quite frankly.
Quite frankly.
Watch Quite Frankly and stuff.
Quite frankly.
Quite frankly.
Quite frankly.
Quite frankly.
All my fellow Franciscans.
Quite frankly.
Quite frankly.
Quite frankly.
Quite frankly.
Quite frankly. Quite frankly. We'll be in the gulag with you, Frank.
Quite frankly.
Quite frankly.
Quite frankly.
Quite frankly.
Yo, what's good, Frank? Quite frankly.
Quite frankly podcast.
So everybody watch, quite frankly, with Frank.
Quite frankly.